Who's ready for a probiotic mocktail? It's happy hour, Wednesday, hump day. And look at my beautiful glass that I have all ready to go for you today. So I was out a little earlier foraging in my local neighborhood for goods. I like to do that. I live in, actually the headquarters is here in Venice Beach, California. So I'm very fortunate that I can just walk outside my door and there's all kinds of different fruits and herbs and such growing. So today I was out taking a walk, getting inspired for today, and I came across my neighbor's Meyer lemon tree. So this drink is going to be featuring Wilderton's Luster non-alcoholic spirit. The cool thing about Luster is what they call it, is that it's got notes of bergamot, bitter orange, lemongrass, bay leaf, linden, lavender, orris, tarragon, and black tea. So lots of different notes in the Wilderton Luster. Hi, nice to see you guys. So I'm using Wilderton's Luster. I'm also using some bitters, some Angostura orange bitters. So if you're like you don't do any alcohol whatsoever, you want to be careful with your bitters and also your kombucha products. A lot of people question me all the time asking me, is your product zero alcohol? Nothing fermented is going to be zero alcohol. I would probably argue even a sauerkraut wouldn't be zero alcohol. And the reason for that is that just like the philosophy of Ferme Fatale, you must first let something rot and ferment for it to become life-preserving. And that philosophy is very much how we look at the Living Clean principles as well. So if you've been following my Transformation Tuesday Reels, you can see that I'm building a bunch of principles that all relate to taking life's challenges and transforming them into possibility. Same as the fermentation process. So my answer to your question about, is this zero ABV? No, the Shrubbucha is not zero ABV, but by law, we have to stay under 0.05. And if it's above 0.05, that's considered a hard kombucha. And you know those brands that are out on the market. So we have what we call a non-alcoholic kombucha type product called Shrubbucha. So shrub being a vinegar-based fruit juice mixed with fermented tea. This particular one that I'm using in today's recipe is the margarita flavor. So it's a lime shrub mixed with black tea kombucha. Zero net sugar. So this drink is very low sugar. So it might not be very similar to the lemon drop that you're used to seeing. So I wanted to take a classic drink like the lemon drop and give you not only a sugar-free and alcohol-free, but also a probiotic alternative to the lemon drop. So what we're going to do is take the juice of one lemon. So we're going to take our vessel. Today I'm using a closed vessel because I actually am going to be shaking. So we're going to use the juice of an entire lemon for this recipe. And you'll see that I'm actually going to be using the rind as well. I've already created my garnish. Oh, I think I just spritzed you. I spritzed the camera. So I'm going to juice that lemon, and then I'm going to discard the peel into the vessel as well, because I'm trying to get the essence of the lemon out. So a lot of times people use a ton of sugar and alcohol in drinks just to create flavor. And it's not what we do here at Ferme Fatale. We're looking to extract all of the flavor without compromising the functionality and the health-preserving benefits of the drink itself. So I squeezed an entire lemon into the vessel, and I threw the rind in there as well. Now check this out. What I'm going to do next is put in 3 drops of monk fruit Have you ever used liquid monk fruit drops? That's just to make it a little bit sweeter than not sweet at all. So I'm just gonna put 3 drops. 1, 2, 3. That might have been 4. And I'm going to put 5 splashes of the orange bitters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Might have been 6, but whatever. My glass is small that I'm going to be serving the drink in today, so you can see it's about 4 ounces or so. Now, as far as the Wilderton Luster, we're going to put in a double shot. So I have this nifty tool. I'm going to pour a double shot. Looks like it's never claimed to be super mixologist or anything over here. Just clean up my I don't know why I bought this marble table. Talk about a total headache. It's constantly getting stained, constantly needing to be cleaned. And while I was out foraging, I came across this herb. Does anybody know what that herb is? I don't know if it's a tarragon or a sage. I thought about using this in today's recipe, but I played with it a little bit, and it's really, really strong and potent. It's kind of like a cross between sage and lemon, and I thought maybe it was tarragon, but tarragon isn't minty and sagey like this. So if you recognize this, I found this growing in Venice. No, it's not cannabis. But I thought about using it because it's kind of an interesting herb. So let me pull out these special ice cubes that I made as well. These are round ice cubes, and they're really cool because at the top you have to pour the water down in to create the ball itself. I don't know how these turned out. So I've got these cubes, but I want to muddle. I want to take my muddler. I really like this tool whenever I'm creating drinks. And I want to muddle the lemon peel into the Wilderton Luster, the orange bitters, and the lemon juice, just to get a little bit more of that lemon essence out. So, hi everybody, thanks for joining. This is Wild Ferment Wednesday, and I'm Julie Cielo, the founder of Ferme Fatale, and I make probiotic mocktails fresh on Wednesdays, sometimes using our ready-to-drink shrub bucha or iconic water, sometimes using what we call our Dirty Dozen, which are 12 fermented drinks from around the world. Usually on Mocktail Mondays, we always either post a really cool recipe or we post some educational material about how to make these fermented drinks yourself to use as the bases to all of the recipes. So yeah, I basically put some monk fruit in there with the lemon juice, the lemon peel, the orange bitters, the Wilderton Luster. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain this over my ice, which, damn, these are not quite, that's all right, good enough. I'm going to put one of these fancy cubes, a half sphere into the glass. I'm going to pour this mixture of lemon, and then I'm going to top it off with the Margarita Sriracha. And this one's real effervescent because it's been fermented in the bottle, but the new Twist Off Crown Caps are a fresh batch of product. Look how beautiful that lemon drop is. Cheers to your health, folks. Perfect for the end of summer. So the reason why I created a lemon drop today for the end of summer Wild Ferment Wednesday is because lemon just reminds me of sunshine. It's so fresh. And as we approach this seasonal transition, I want you to be thinking about cleansing your liver. Lemon is an excellent fruit to cleanse your liver with. That's why the Master Cleanse, lemon water in Ayurveda. Lemon is actually not an acidic fruit. It's a neutral fruit. So I highly recommend putting fresh lemon in your water, drinking it in your mocktails. It really is like liquid sunshine, though. It will eat the enamel off of your teeth. So be careful. But oh, this is so good. Yeah, so, right? Oh, I haven't seen Sham in so long. This is delicious, guys. I highly recommend trying it. So just to recap, make yourself some fancy ice. Maybe you can get the whole ball, the whole sphere, instead of only a half sphere like I did. It requires you to use this little funnel, and I lost mine, so salute. So anyway, get yourself some really cool silicone ice cube makers. You can get those off Amazon. And yeah, the Wilderton Luster is a great non-alcoholic spirit to use. I really like this because, you know, a classic lemon drop would contain triple sec, vodka, lemon juice, sugar. You too, love. Thank you so much for popping on. Hi, Devin. So like I said, the classic lemon drop is basically alcohol with sugar and lemon. So what inspired me today, whenever I was walking around my neighborhood and foraging for ingredients, was my neighbor's Meyer lemon tree, which the fruit is just like falling off of the tree. And I thought, perfect end of summer fruit available right here for free out of my neighbor's yard. So that's typically how I'll get my inspiration, is by looking around and seeing what's available to me, right? And that made me think, I should make a spin on a lemon drop that's probiotic, sugar-free, and also alcohol-free. So that's how I came up with this recipe today. So I really want to encourage you and inspire you to make things with what you already have in your neighborhood, in your fridge, in your backyard. There's so much available to us. So I used, like I said, the Wilderton Luster, great alternative to a vodka, or, you know, not only vodka, but, you know, the other ingredient in the lemon drop, a classic lemon drop, would be Grand Marnier. So I was like, well, what would be like a combination of orange liqueur and vodka? And I thought, I have an entire non-alcoholic bar cart, and which one of these would sort of be related to vodka and orange? And I was like, I've got the Wilderton Luster, you know, with the elements of bitter orange and black tea, which really complements the Margarita Sriracha whenever I combine it together. So, you know, I mean, when you're coming up with health conscious, gut healthy mocktails at home, oftentimes these things, you don't have to go very far. I mean, I end up using a lot of savory foods in my mocktails, which you'll continue to see on Wild Ferment Wednesday. I have so many ideas that I want to share with you, but today I just really wanted to do a spin on a classic lemon drop. So we used the Wilderton Luster, the orange bitters. I used 3 drops of the monk fruit drops extract, and I topped it off with the Margarita Sriracha, and it's absolutely amazing. So, you know, you can always jazz things up with garnishes and cool ice cubes and herbs. Like I said, I found this herb in my neighborhood. No, it's not cannabis. And I'm wondering, do you know what this is? Anybody? Anybody know what this is? Barbara? Bevan? It smells like sage. And that's the other thing. Whenever I picked it, it brought me back to a memory of retreats that I used to lead every August for 16 summers in a row at a place called Marival, Tucson. Have you ever heard of Marival, Tucson? It was Oprah's #1 spa. You know, she loved that spa so much. She always endorsed it. And I ended up bringing groups there and leading retreats for 16 years. So if you don't know, in my past life, I was a massage and yoga therapist. And in my past life, before that, I'm a trained mortician and a child medium. So, hi Aspen. I'm just here drinking a probiotic lemon drop without sugar and alcohol. Good for my gut. Hi Vibe. Does it look like sage? It does. It's not furry, Bevan. It's not really furry. It's more like kind of like a cat's tongue. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of got elements of mint and sage and a little bit of lemon. Hi. But yeah, I was really reluctant to use it in my lemon drop recipe today because I didn't want to ruin it. It seems like, hi there, it seems like it could be, bring it closer. Aspen, what is this? I picked it in Venice. Oh, thank you so much, Judy. Hello, Miami. I'm just here in Venice Beach. Yeah, so I don't know what this is, but hey, did you guys know about the event that we're pulling off here on Friday? We're almost sold out. It's very exciting. So this is an event that I was doing before. Probably in the Selvia family. The Trance and Tonics event I was doing before, we were incorporating alcohol at one time. And I would hypnotize the people, bring them back to their inner child, and they'd be, sometimes having emotional releases and stuff. And then I was partnering with other people, and they convinced me to, serve some alcohol, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work. Even though we were doing these events at fancy hotels in West Hollywood, blah, 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 it did not align. It did not align for me. So I have reintroduced this event, and this will be the first one of its kind on Venice Beach and virtual. So we're offering it to people at home as well on Friday night. And it's called Trance and Tonics. And what happens is the people that are in person get to lie on the beach with wireless headphones. The people that are at home get to lie back and listen with their headphones as well. And a DJ is doing custom sound therapy while I do voiceover of a guided trance. So if you're not sure what trance is and you want to check it out, you can go on our SoundCloud and hear me doing former trances that I've pre-recorded on worthiness and blah, blah, blah. Thank you, Bevan. I'm so excited to be bringing it back. The first relaunch is always the toughest. We had some really cool artwork made. If you haven't checked out the animated art promo that was done, super cool with the person's whole, in a meditation, their third eye is opening and closing with this really cool squid above, and the female is holding a crystal, and it turns into a bottle of Shrabucha. It's so really, really cool promo art for the event. But more importantly, we're having the headphones delivered tomorrow, the wireless headphones. I've got an amazing trance written out and ready for the guided meditation. There'll be a little breath work involved. But then afterwards, the music is curated to bring you out of trance to up on your feet dance. You would love it, Aspen. You would be the queen of the dancers. Teaching everybody how to let go. And that's what it's all about. So, this time of year is a very pivotal time. Can you feel it in the air? It can be painful, honestly, because late summer in traditional Chinese medicine is known as the most there's the most metamorphosis that can happen for your soul. We are a part of nature. So as the seasons change, so do we. And we are very much affected by it. So if you don't know much about seasonal wellness, I've been studying this for most of my life through Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine, and we do mirror back, or at least nature wants us to mirror back what she's doing. So whenever you're, in alignment with your divine masculine, your divine feminine, you're able to, play off these energies during the seasons. We're coming out of a yang, more masculine season and entering into the yin phase of nature. And as we do that, as we transition through fall equinox, our immune systems and all of our bodily functions get tested a bit. So, as kids go back to school and maybe people are going back to the office and so much change in the world, so much going on, I encourage you to do your grounding practices. Do the things that make you feel connected to yourself. Pay attention to your self-dialogue, because it's a time that sometimes we can be tested. And, it's oftentimes whenever people get sick. So do our 7-day cleanse. Get off the sugar and alcohol. Do the things that drink more water. Certainly in the wintertime is a very important time to be drinking water when you're sweating, but flush out the toxins, support your liver with a probiotic lemon drop, alcohol and sugar free, filled with good bacteria. That is so yummy. And gift yourself, some sober events, getting in alignment with like-minded people. This is how we support ourselves. We are not here to do this alone. So yes, I get on here every Wednesday and make fresh signature probiotic mocktails, sometimes using our product, Shabucha or Iconic Water, sometimes using our Dirty Dozen. And I love to take your questions. I love to hear what you have to say, what you'd like to see more from me. I do this for you guys. I don't do this for me. I got into it because of my own healing. If you don't know, I was really, really sick at 24 years old, and I was at a concert and I was diagnosed with a mystery disease. They just pinned it as autoimmune. Looking back now, I realized it was the beginning of the Epstein-Barr virus beginning to attack my system. I had mono as a child. This is something that's not really discussed in Western medicine. Even when you go to a naturopath, Epstein-Barr is oftentimes overlooked, but now people are starting, the Western, not so much the Western world, but the naturopathic world is starting to realize that Lyme's disease, Epstein-Barr, viruses, which, we obviously being exposed to now in our culture, these viruses can lie dormant and wreak havoc on your system. And we need to continue to keep our vessel, our body temple, clear, supported. And how do we do that? We do that by knowing where our food comes from, growing it ourselves if possible, getting it from our local farmers, and supporting our own local agriculture first. Knowing where your water comes from. Is it clean? Does it have fluoride? You don't want to be drinking or using fluoride in your mouth. It'll kill lab rats. Fluoride is not good, and oftentimes there's copper and other heavy metals in tap water, so be sure that your water is filtered and clean. And, paying attention to ingredients. On the labels, if you start to look, there's sugar in everything. And I used to say sugar is the gateway drug, but honestly, I think that alcohol oftentimes can be the gateway drug to leading you back to sugar addiction. And if you're someone like me that has struggled with candida most of your life, chronic candidiasis, which is a overgrowth of a pathogenic yeast that can just wreak havoc on your GI system. You need to keep your sugar levels down, and that means even being careful with what kind of fruits you're consuming. I'm here to support you. Please let me know how I can be of service to you. And yeah, I hope this lemon drop probiotic mocktail inspired you to create something amazing. Keep celebrating life, because we only have so much time, and time is your most valuable asset. So be sure that you're spending it with people that are worthy. And if that means spending that time by yourself, with you, yourself, and I, then that's okay. Other people's opinions of you does not define your value. Okay? What you think about yourself and what you say to yourself whenever you're hanging out with you is what's most important. And if you are used to sipping on toxic, unconscious thoughts and words that you say to yourself all day long, the first step is awareness. That's why awareness is the Living Clean principle #1. So whenever we become aware of the dialogue of what we're saying to ourselves every day, that's the first step. So just noticing, I'm really hard and critical on myself, and the things that I say to myself, I wouldn't even say to my worst enemy. I don't like to say it because I don't have any enemies. But you know, we can be our own worst enemy, and it happens all in here. And then those thoughts actually create a vibration, and that vibration is what attracts people to us, opportunities to us. So we're going into a holiday weekend. Come to Trance and Tonics on Friday night if you're not busy. We're doing it virtual, so anybody around the world can get on. And the cool thing about the virtual, if I haven't told you, is that everybody that signs up for the virtual gets 33% off Femme Fatale products for all of September. You can use the code for as many times as you want. We've got the new Twist Off product available. It's a different formula. A lot of people have been asking me, Julie, why is it not as bubbly? Well, we just bottled it for one, so it needs to ferment in the bottle a little while longer. But we also fermented more of the sugar out of it and added another bacteria strains to make it even more gut positive for you. So if you open up the new Twist Offs and you're like, hey, why didn't I get the Shrabucha shower? Don't put it in the fridge quite yet. Let it sit out a little while longer and ferment. Be careful though, you want to keep it in the box with the dividers the way it comes, because if it just happens to blow up, you don't want the glass shards to go flying into your cupboard or wherever. So I've learned that lesson one too many times. Thank you so much for joining me today. And yeah, check out the event. If you go to the link in the bio, it's only going to be up for a couple more days because the event is on Friday, Trance and Tonics. I'd love to have you guys there. You know, like I said, I do this because I genuinely, authentically want to help you rise up, heal and transform all of your wounds, whether it be in your gut or childhood trauma, because that's what I'm working on too. So helping you is a part of how it helped me. And because I know that we're one. Hi, Bon. Oh my gosh, it's so great to see some of my longtime friends on here. How blessed. How blessed. Bon, I made a 0 sugar, 0 alcohol probiotic lemon drop today. If you missed me making it, you can go back to the archives on IG Live. And then, yeah, on Monday, I'm posting a recipe that I also used the Wilderton Luster. Very simple recipe that is being served over at Roosterfish, the #1 bar in Venice on Abbot Kinney Boulevard, called Dirty Spa Water. It's so nice to see these non-alcoholic drink alternatives on the menus of top bars and restaurants around the country. It's really the way to go, because alcohol doesn't really serve us. We have been fed lies for so long with big alcohol. So it's nice to see small companies like ours finally being heard. And the social beverage, a term that I coined back in 2015 at BevNet Live, Startup Beverage of the Year Showdown, is finally starting to get some attention. People are like, oh, I want a social beverage, but I don't want to drink LaCroix. I don't want to just drink seltzer water. By the way, forced carbonated beverages, no bueno, deteriorates your gut lining. That's why I created Iconic Water, which we're sold out of right now. But anyway, if you are going to do a bubbly water, make sure that it's water that's coming out of the ground bubbly. Nothing forced carbonated. If you're not sure which one to get, I buy the German brand Gerolsteiner. So that's what I'm using while I'm out of Iconic Water. So anyway, I'm here to serve, here to just mirror and reflect off of you and hopefully inspire you. Thank you so much for joining me on this Wild Ferment Wednesday. I'm sending love out to all of you that joined and wishing you a great holiday weekend. Come see us at Transcendtonics. Link is in the bio. DM me if you need support. Bye, guys.